Cars submerged, streets turned into rushing rivers. All this after a water main break in downtown St. Louis. Now residents and businesses in that area are under a precautionary boil advisory. This is a look at that mess from Drone 4 near Lucas and Tucker. And here's a look at the area affected by this boil order. We know at least 4 buildings downtown have some pretty serious flooding. News 4's Jenna is outside one of those buildings right now. Jenna, tell us where you are and what you've heard from residents today.
Sam and Corey, I am right behind the Bogan Lofts on Lucas and 13th right now, and this is one of the few parking garages that we know of that was flooded earlier today. Those cars and those horns that you heard, those were inside this garage, at least a foot of water inside, and residents who live here that I talked to today tell me that when they walked outside, they were actually evacuated early this morning, that when they came outside to this street that I'm standing on now, they couldn't believe how much water was on here.
I went out to take my dog for a walk at like 6:05, and when I brought her back, Lucas was a river at probably around 6:20.
So I got woken up by the fire alarm. Actually, it was about 6:30 in the morning. Fire alarm. Had no idea what was going on, so I was like, I might as well just get downstairs.
This is what George Kelly walked out to after being evacuated from the Bogan Lofts on Washington Avenue downtown.
It was just a huge flood, like a river almost, was just like coming through our back alley right here. Yeah, it was actually wild. I've never seen it like that through city streets.
St. Louis city officials tell us there was a 3-foot break in a water main between Lucas and Tucker. The break causing at least 4 buildings to flood.
Our garage already fights with flooding, and we have a pump down there. And then, of course, a little while later came back, and you could see the water level. It's up to the ceiling in the garage, most likely.
In another building.
I looked in the garage, and it was probably about knee height. Man, I just got this car about 2 weeks ago. I was like, man, let me get this junk up out of here. So I just, gunned it up the ramp and took off.
City crews were eventually able to stop the water flow and work to clean up debris. However, some of those buildings are still seeing flooding in basement areas as well as electricity issues inside. Now, I did see a few restaurants on Wash Ave with signs on their doors today saying that they were closed because of that boil advisory that Sam and Corey mentioned just about a minute ago. I did also talk with some restaurant and hotel owners who decided to stay open today. They tell me that they're just using bottled water or boiling water when they, of course, need to cook. Now, there's one question that we still need to answer tonight is several cars, as you saw in that previous video, were damaged because of the flooded waters from this water main break. Who is going to pay for this? I'll have some answers for you coming up in just an hour. Live for you tonight in downtown, Jenna Ray, News 4.